name's Shalom.
And I'm Allison.
We're co-editors for the Bird's Eye View Greenwood Christian School's online newspaper.
We're doing a special report on teaching styles and the teachers behind them.
First, we have Ms. Koschel, who is going to talk about how she deals with unruly students.
Unruly students. That's a good question. I guess the biggest thing to look at is to realize that we're all made in the image of God, and we all have different personalities. So it's important for us to not be too harsh on them, but to find positive ways of positive reinforcement, and then to gently remind them that they're in a classroom setting, they need to raise their hand, they need to listen and be respectful, and you know, those sort of things that we want to see modeled in our students.
Okay.
You need to find the determinant. Yeah. Ricky, we've been over this. We went over it the day before the test. We went over it the morning that we started the test. You have already seen the test. We're just completing the test. Your part should have been done by now. Mine has definitely been done by now.
So can I find the determinant?
Ricky.
I don't know how to find it.
Okay, we're done.
Next is Ms. Goforth's intimidating calculus class.
Here is actually two things, but it's kind of two steps in one. It's okay to do that. Okay? Everybody understand? All right. So in the next part, you had to find the zero.
Chemistry is a dangerous class.
I've been teaching for 15, 16 years now, and I've seen several accidents happen, and I think I've learned through experience what to do if there is an accident. So no, I don't really get scared, and I always try to make sure that we go over the details and the instructions of the lab before we even get started. So I feel like the kids are fully prepared, and
All right. So, kind of help you get started there. All right, here we go. And all right.
Some teachers leave a lasting impression.
She's very energetic. She's very expressive. She cares whether or not you understand it, and if you don't, then she'll make sure that you do by whatever she can, which usually involves moving around the class a lot and saying a lot and doing a lot with her hands.
Ms. Campbell is very energetic. She expresses in various ways, and definitely someone who you can easily remember. Her teaching ways are just something that you can relate to.
Next is Mr. Smith with some studying tips.
What students need to do is they need to determine what the expectations of the instructor is. Once they determine what those expectations are, then they need to study to meet those expectations. Some instructors will tell them, know everything that is covered in the classroom, and that will be appropriate. Others will give a study guide, and they need to know the material on the study guide. But what a student needs to do is to ramp up their effort based upon the expectations of the instructor, as well as their own expectations of themselves. They need to work as hard as they would like to score on a test, quiz, or other assessment. To be adequately prepared for any assessment for me, it would be best if you know everything. At the very least, you need to be familiar with everything. It would be best if you know everything. However, at the very least, be familiar with everything.
One thing that sets teachers apart is the degree of formality of their class. Mr. Bowers considers his to be
Formal.
His name is Harpo Marx.
He's not on I Love Lucy.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He is too when they go to Hollywood.
arguing, get on it.
Miss Fortner's style is influenced by her affinity for a particular foreign land.
Oh dear. France? No. Germany? No. What do you think, darling? Scotland. The brave.
Mr. Richter definitely teaches in a way that every student can enjoy.
What I enjoy most about teaching is I teach Bible classes, so I enjoy the opportunity to talk about Jesus and talk about the gospel with students.
What is your favorite part of Mr. Richter's class?
It's the random news.
What is your favorite part of Mr. Richter's class?
Do I start now? Random news.
Next we have Miss Harbuck.
In one of our textbooks, which you can get from over here, and read about writing the editorial. I see you've been on the New York Times website and you've got the information there. Good job. Now,
What is the first thing you noticed about Mrs. Harbuck?
She's very one-on-one.
Style. She really teaches one-on-one on the student's level.
Mrs. Rutherford has a special technique to keep herself calm when tested by a student.
I don't know that I get angry with students. I probably get frustrated with students because they're disturbing other people's learning environment. So what would be good for me is that, or what is good for me is that I usually give them a warning to begin with, and sometimes I threaten them with a discipline slip. And if it's not under control at that point, I do send a student out. I rarely have to do that, thankfully, but I do try to squelch it right there and then when it happens. So I really don't get angry with students. You're even arguing about who
would never, okay?
would be worthy of your arguing about.
My arguing, okay? I need like
do you need a
crowd.
signpost? Because you would argue with a signpost.
Like a political signs, you know?
Yes,
I wouldn't be on the side of the street arguing about my
Would you like to hold up my devotion and argue with it?
Don't even get me started on your devotion.
And that's everyone. All of the students are blessed to have godly teachers who care so much about them and want to see them succeed.